I mostly want to thank everyone for coming and that so many here have contributed to making this a beautiful evening of Torah and also enjoyment of some great wine. If I were to try to trace a thread that runs through all the different shiurim that we heard, I'm reminded of the Midrash that tells us that when HaKadosh Baruch Hu asked Bnei Israel if they would accept the Torah, he took Har Sinai and held it up over their heads, kigigit, like a cask. And the question is, what is the meaning of that detail? Why bother mentioning, a wine cask? Why isn't a mountain enough? Seemingly, that would be a more frightening thing to be buried under. But I think, in fact, what it references is a theme you see appearing all throughout Tanakh, where wine is connected with destruction and rebirth, starting with Noah, right? That Noah and his family are this remnant of humanity, but they're the seed of life that gives rise to something new. And again, in a more scandalous way, Lot and his daughters also play that role, and wine is there again when they're the last survivors of Sodom, who with wine give rise to something that comes afterwards. And even also in Yetziat Mitzrayim, as we commemorate yearly with our Arba Kosot, with our 4 cups of wine, we're remembering, leaving the destruction of Mitzrayim, leaving the end of something and becoming the beginning of something new. And so, starting with the idea of saying Atov Mitiv, and every new cask of wine that you open, in each generation or in each era that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives rise to, you can imagine him and sort of enjoying the new vintage and wanting us to do the same. If we look to Ba'av and Shevet Binyamin with their taking of their wives, that again also was a Shevet, a tribe that was shrinking down to nothing, but then could experience a rebirth because it was allowed to remarry with the rest of Bnei Israel. At the end of the day, the whole idea of wine as a thing that's alive, as a thing that represents all of creation, it's so much the center of our tradition through Kiddush and through the Arba Kosot of Agadah Shel Pesach, because what it represents is that there is this oscillation from Tzom to Simcha, right? That even in the creation of wine itself, you take grape juice, you close it in a barrel, and you're basically starving the yeast of oxygen so that they have nothing to do, and they have to change their metabolism and start turning the sugar into alcohol. And then you wait long enough, and out comes the wine, and you can have Simcha, right? Yain yismach levav enosh. So the very notion of what wine's doing biologically and thinking of it as a grander metaphor for generations of people, there's this remnant of life in a period of contraction or extinction or starvation, and then that can be the seed of new life, and it can also be the source of great joy. So may we all merit to experience the upswing in days where we see the hope of a new rebirth and a new Mikdash and a new role for Am Yisrael in the world. B'mihera v'yameinu.
Amen.